Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and we're on site today in sunny, beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, just outside of the St. Clements. It is an oceanfront condominium. Now, in this video, I'm going to take you into a one-bedroom, one-bathroom. It is technically a two-bed conversion. Can't wait to show it to you. We're going to walk all through the unit, go out on the balcony, check out the scene so you can see it. Then we're going to hop into also your gross rental income and operating expenses, a profit and loss statement, breaking down all of your expenses so that you understand how to own and operate an oceanfront condo. We're also going to dive into your appreciation. If you time the market right and you buy low and sell high, just how much money you can make over an 8 to 10 year hold period with an oceanfront condo. We'll also talk through your depreciation. How much can you write off on your taxes? What kind of tax breaks do you get for having an investment property like a Myrtle Beach oceanfront condo? Now, we'll also take a quick look at the attractions that draw your guests, from Broadway at the beach to Pirates Voyage to Barefoot Landing. You know, what are the tourists renting these oceanfront condo or resorts for? They're here for the vacation, and they want to see these great places in our market. Myrtle Beach is the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast. Well, what brings those 20 to 22 million tourists here? It's the local attractions and that sand and that ocean. Now, we're also going to hop into investor interviews. I'm going to take you to meet Gosha Cook on the Must See Investor playlist. She's a conservative investor. She comes from an accounting background. She owns 24 properties, 15 of which are oceanfront condos, and she has a property management company where she manages over 120 properties. She has a very conservative approach. You don't want to miss the tips, the tricks, the trades, and the secrets, the nuggets, the bombs that she drops in that interview. We're also going to meet Matt Freese. He's very different from Gosha Cook. He is a lender by trade. He is a risk taker. He owns 11 oceanfront condos, and he definitely takes risk using financing. Gosha bought hers cash. So two very different perspectives as far as how to go about investing. You'll catch both of those on the Investor Must Watch playlist, but don't miss the interview with Rufia Nigro. I interviewed her. She owns 27 Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos, over $10 million worth of oceanfront condos in our market, and she lives in Florida. Now, why would she live in Florida, not own any condos there, but buy and own in Myrtle Beach? Well, you gotta watch the Must See Investors playlist to understand those very factors, those truths, those nuggets, to get equipped from everything from operations to investment strategy. You name it, it's in those interviews. Please watch that playlist. It will stop you from making the pitfalls that many investors make in our market. Guys, I get phone calls from first-time investors and amateur investors all the time who are concerned about HOA fees, who are concerned and asking questions about things that do not necessarily matter. And I don't want you to make those amateur mistakes. I don't want you to make those pitfalls. I don't want you to let the HOA fee drive where you make an investment decision. I want that ceiling to be the gross rental income. I want you to be informed and equipped. I want you to win and win big. I want you taking calculated decisions. I want you to analyze the deal, and I'm going to help you analyze it. I do this all the time with people just like you looking to invest in our market. So you're in the right place. Watch the video. You got to watch it through to the end because it is chock full of all of the information that you need to make a savvy investment decision. Now, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. It takes you a second, goes a long way to help me out. If I've provided you any kind of value, it's the least you can do, and drop me a comment. I enjoy getting your questions. It helps me make great content for you guys. So drop me questions. I'll do my best to answer all of them myself. Well, guys, I don't want to hold us up. I want to get us into the St. Clement. Let's get into the video now. You'd like to invest in an oceanfront condo at a beach resort. I'd like to show you how they make profit and break down all their expenses so you understand how they operate, how they appreciate over time, and how to choose the right property manager for your goals. I'd also like to let you know what your HOA includes, how the location best services the tourist booking your unit, how your tourist can navigate the area to the best attractions, restaurants, and local events. I'd like to give you a market report on the resort that you're checking out today so that you make savvy investment decisions. And And if you stay tuned until the end, I'll show you my top picks for the units that have appreciated the most in our market or generated the most gross rental income. So no matter if you're a first-time investor, a seasoned professional transitioning into the real estate game, or simply a casual investor who wants to buy an oceanfront condo to rent out while you're not using it for vacation. Whether you've got 15% to pay down because you're financing or you're a cash buyer, if it's an oceanfront condo you're after, you'll be better because I'm aiming to give you a 10 times return on your time for watching this video to the end. Guys, we are on site today right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the St. Clements Oceanfront Condominium. Now, I've chosen this approach to kind of show you the layout of the land. It is tucked back here. If we look here, that's Ocean Boulevard, all right? So let me kind of just zoom in. It's kind of tucked back off the street. This is the Caravel Tower. Off in the distance, you have the Ocean Reef. And then around this corner here, which you can barely see, that little blue sliver you see right in between, that's Willow Bay Resort. Now, across the street is the Caravel Resort. So you're kind of like back in this little cut street, and you've got St. Clement. All right? Hope that makes sense. It is definitely, it is not way up there. It's not, it's tucked in. It's kind of hidden. If you didn't know it was back here, you might would miss it. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. All right, guys, let's get in unit 104 right here at St. Clements. Now, as soon as you walk in, you are going to come right into a bedroom, as you can see here. You have a little mirror there, flat screen TV, front door. Hi. All right, you come right into the kitchen next. As you can see, stove, sink, microwave. You got some great cabinetry, refrigerator on the other side here. Immediately following your restroom, you have a tub shower combo here. And then, of course, a vanity on the left. And then it effortlessly flows right into the little dining room area with a cool little light. Now, I don't want you to miss this. We got a nifty little ceiling here. It's pretty cool. Little accent wall ceiling, if you could call it such a thing. Flat screen TV, living room. Of course, you have your balcony, that moneymaker, and then the master bed area with some custom cabinetry. Now, pretty large size balcony, as you can see here. Of course, it overlooks the pool. You got a little bar restaurant area right out in front here, little rooftop section and a covered porch section, and of course, sand and beach straight ahead. Now, St. Clement is set a little ways off the beach. As you can see, it's set back just a little bit. And you can see onto the neighboring balconies. Well, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for our unit right here at St. Clements. In this video, I've shown you the resort, explained the property, and given you a walkthrough of the property. But next, I'll cover the accommodations and amenities offered by the resort and give you a walkthrough of the amenities so you can see why tourists choose oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then I'll discuss on-site versus off-site management so that you learn how to maximize profitability on your unit and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. Then I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, St. Clement, you got beach access right here. Of course, let me just give you a quick little zoom so you can see. You have parking here all around. You have parking underneath. Now, there's a great little beach bar and grill right here, open to the public. There's a little rooftop section. This is another beach access with showers. I'm just going to walk you over here real quick and kind of get a look at what they got going on as far as food and drinks. Little outdoor section, as you can see, just outside by the pool. Hi. And this is the bar section right here, guys. Now, this is your pool. Pretty standard setup, just outside. And that is Willow Bay. I was showing you guys off in the distance. There it is right there. Now, this is your parking all around. Literally, people just drive right in through here, follow this all the way around to exit. And then the front of the building's right here, or the entrance to the building, excuse me, is right here. All right, beautiful flooring, nice colors, and then elevators. Now, on-site versus off-site property management. Very simply, guys, you always want to self-manage. You do not want to hand your profits over to a property management company. Plus, if you're serious about building a robust portfolio, well, guys, guess what? You taking the helm and doing this the first year or two is going to provide you with the experience that you need in order to better understand your investment and your money. So that way, when you do hand it off to a property manager, you'll know what to look for if they're doing a good job or not. Additionally, no one's going to manage your property like you are. And I will tell you, if you're thinking to yourself that you don't have time because you have a full-time job and you can't handle anything else, then you're wrong. You need to get focused. You need to get self-disciplined. You need to get serious with yourself about your future and your retirement. Now, here's the deal. Matt Freeze owned 11 oceanfront condos, and he owns a mortgage brokerage. He's got a full-time day job and manages his oceanfront condos from his phone and his laptop. Gosha Cook owns 15 oceanfront condos, 2 commercial properties, and a long-term rental. Manages them. She leverages technology. She also owns a property management company and has 110 doors that she's responsible for. The point is that, very simply, lots of people are managing this type of rental right from their phone. They're syncing their calendar with their cleaning lady's calendar. And, she's going and cleaning that unit. They're handling guests through automated text messages and emails right there on the platform. It is not rocket science. You can completely run this from your phone and your laptop. And you can be out of state. Matt Freeze is out of state. There are plenty of out-of-state investors that buy these condos and manage them all the time. Do I run into a lot of husband-wife couples that do this? Absolutely. If that's you, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. So, do you think the Myrtle Beach market is oversaturated with vacation rentals?
It's not oversaturated. The saturation has always been here. They can only build up. All right. There's not more beach. They've always been short-term rentals for the last, how many years?
Years and years and years and years and years. And I'm super glad that you said, it's not saturated because they've always been here. Basically, this is not something new. This might be new to you as a viewer or new to you as an investor, but in our market, people have been doing short-term oceanfront rentals for years.
What's new is being able to cut out the middleman. You can cut out the front desk. You don't have to use on-site property management. You can use Airbnb, use VRBO, and you can manage it yourself.
Yeah, technology's really enabled you to cut out that middleman. So, I recently heard somebody talking about, the Airbnb market is on the downturn. Doom and gloom. Well, guys, I don't foresee people not liking the beach anymore. It's like the mountains. Like, people like the mountains, people like the beach. That's not going to change. And as long as the ocean's still here and the oceanfront condos are still here, people are going to keep renting these just like they've done for years and years and years. In my opinion, I feel like it's, with the historical evidence that we have backing it up, in my opinion, it's a very safe investment for a proactive investor.
Right.
Yeah. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, now your HOA fee is going to include electric in the common area, water and sewer, trash pickup, elevator service, pool service, landscape lawn, insurance, manager, rec facilities, legal and accounting, primary antenna, cable TV, common maintenance and repair, internet access, and pest control. It does not include electric in the unit. Now, the insurance that is included is going to be the exterior building insurance. If a hurricane comes through, flooding, and something damages the exterior part of the building, the monthly HOA fee insurance is going to cover that. You're going to buy an HO6 policy, which is also not included in the HO6 insurance, and that's going to cover you stud to stud interior. In case a guest destroys something inside the unit, you file the HO6 insurance, you get reimbursed. I once had clients made almost $6,000 in 1 year just off HO6 claims. So you're covered both ways. Exterior and interior is covered through your insurance. Here are the attractions that create the strongest draw for your guests. Now, Barefoot Landing in North Myrtle Beach is a vibrant waterfront destination that seamlessly blends shopping, dining, and entertainment. Now, set along the Intercoastal Waterway, this expansive complex features over 100 specialty shops and boutiques, offering everything from fashion and accessories to unique gifts and coastal treasures. Culinary enthusiasts can indulge in a diverse array of restaurants, including the upscale Greg Norman Australian Grill, the lively Lulu's Beach Arcade and Ropes Course, and the family-friendly Crooked Hammock Brewery, known for its craft beers and relaxed atmosphere. Entertainment options abound with venues like the Alabama Theater, showcasing musical performances, and the House of Blues, hosting concerts and events. Now, families can explore attractions like Alligator Adventure, one of the largest reptile facilities in the world, or enjoy seasonal events like Summerfest and holiday fireworks. Whether you're seeking a leisurely stroll, a shopping spree, or an evening of live entertainment, Barefoot Landing offers a memorable experience for visitors of all ages. Broadway at the beach. It's another excellent tourist attraction. It's only 5 minutes away. Guys, it is 350 acres of fun. Let me tell you, fireworks shows and boat rides and Wonderworks and Wahlburgers and Dave & Buster's, and there's just so much to do. You don't want to miss it. They got a new area out there where the Hangout is, another great little restaurant. They've got golf you can play. Like little putt-putt golf. It's a lot of fun. Now, the Greg Rouse Legacy Theater is a premier entertainment venue that offers a unique and intimate live performance experience. Founded by acclaimed entertainer Greg Rouse, the theater showcases a variety of shows, including the popular Music and Memories series, which features a world-class cast and band performing beloved songs from past decades. Each performance is 100% live and changes nightly, ensuring a fresh experience for returning guests. The theater has been recognized as WMBF's Best Show of the Grand Strand in 2024, highlighting its commitment to quality entertainment. With a seating capacity of 800, the venue provides an intimate setting that fosters a sense of community and connection between performers and the audience. In addition to its diverse musical offerings, the theater honors military personnel and first responders with special discounts, and during the summer offers promotions such as 2 free child tickets with the purchase of an adult ticket. The Greg Rouse Legacy Theater stands as a testament to Rouse's dedication to creating memorable, family-friendly entertainment that resonates with audiences of all ages. Pirates Voyage. Now, guys, they are doing acrobatics. It's a red team and a blue team of pirates, and they are jumping in the water. They are playing with fire. They are getting all of the guests involved. It is a dinner show. And while you're having dinner and they're serving you great food, they're getting you involved in what they're doing. It is a lot of fun. Your kids, your family is going to enjoy it so much. You don't want to miss the Pirates Voyage. The Alabama Theater, nestled in North Myrtle Beach Barefoot Landing, has been a premier entertainment venue since its inception in 1993 by the renowned country music band Alabama. Celebrated as the #1 live entertainment theater in the area, it offers a diverse array of performances that captivate audiences of all ages. From February through October, the theater showcases its signature variety show, Iconic, a dynamic production featuring a blend of country, pop, rock, and Broadway hits, complemented by state-of-the-art visuals and choreography. As the holiday season approaches, the venue transforms to present the South's grandest Christmas show, a festive extravaganza filled with traditional and contemporary holiday music, dance, and comedy. Throughout the year, the Alabama Theater also hosts an impressive lineup of guest artists, including notable names like Josh Turner, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Jay Leno, ensuring a memorable experience for every visitor. With its commitment to high-quality performances and family-friendly atmosphere, the Alabama Theater remains a must-visit destination for those seeking top-tier entertainment in the Grand Strand region. The House of Blues in North Myrtle Beach, located at Barefoot Landing, is a premier entertainment venue that combines live music, Southern-inspired cuisine, and vibrant atmosphere. Established in 1997, this 59,000-square-foot facility features a 2-level music hall with a standing capacity of 3,500 and seating for 500 people, hosting a variety of concerts and events throughout the year. Now, the venue includes a restaurant and a bar that offers signature dishes like voodoo shrimp and jambalaya, alongside craft cocktails and an extensive beer selection. Additional spaces, such as the deck, provide outdoor seating with live music and happy hour specials. With its unique blend of music, food, and art, the House of Blues offers an unforgettable experience for visitors and locals alike. Now, same thing goes for medieval times. It is a dinner show with knights, and they're fighting, and there's swords, and there's horses, and they are having a blast out there, getting you involved in that, in all that fun. Now, the Skywheel, a major Myrtle Beach landmark up the road. The Boardwalk and Promenade, another major landmark. Tanger Outlets, if you want to shop, that's where you want to go. Market Common. Now, Market Common is a city within a city. Guys, there's upscale shopping, White House Black Market, Southern Living. I mean, you name it, it's there. There's bookstores and movie theaters. They do all kinds of little festivals. Across the street is a $1.3 million playground called Savannah's Playground. You don't want to miss it. It's probably one of the most desirable places in our market to live. Now, Myrtle Beach International Airport, 15 minutes up the road. Let's get into golf. Dunes Golf and Beach Club. You got to go. It is luxury golf at its finest. You definitely want to check it out. It's right there oceanfront. Beautiful greens, an excellent place to play golf. Myrtlewood Golf Club, World Tour Golf Links, guys, is going to have holes from some of the best courses around the world. And of course, there's Top Golf. You do not want to miss Top Golf. Guys, there's individual lanes set up to go out, and it's a driving range. You have a blast. There's restaurants. They serve you food, friends, family. It's the kind of thing that you want to do. Get a group of your friends together and go out and hit that driving range. You won't regret it. It'll be a lot of fun. Again, only just a few minutes up the road. Okay, so now speaking of oversaturation, we were just talking about how competitive our market is. Now, you would say that Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is a competitive market?
Yeah, it's a competitive market. Well,
yes and no.
Yeah, yes and no. For the Airbnbs, there's a lot out there, but it's not that it's oversaturated. It's there's a lot people can choose from now, and basically, and that's where I focus on making sure my units are nice, and so that way I want to be one of the first ones to get picked.
That's right.
I'm still renting no matter what. It's just, do I want to rent at the top dollar, or do I want to rent at the bottom dollar?
Exactly. And so you're saying that the remodel that you've done on your units, that's what empowers you to be able to ask for the full price, to be top dollar.
Right. And it's not even that ask. It's more like you get chosen earlier, right? You get chosen quicker. You get chosen at the higher prices, because when people are scrolling, it's anything you can do to make that person stop scrolling and say, I want to stay at that unit.
Exactly. So when those when those pictures pop, there's it's highly contrasted. You got beautiful pinks and teals, and all the right furniture, it's modern, it's great, obviously that stops somebody from scrolling, that'll stop them right there in their tracks.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you obviously want to get picked sooner rather than later. And you want to have that you're booked up for the next 30 to 60 days. Isn't that what everybody wants? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what's weird is there was a shift that people aren't booking in advance. They're booking 1 to 2 weeks out now. And a couple years ago, I would be booked 30 to 60 days out. No matter how nice my unit is, I'm not booked 30 to 60 days out.
And it's so funny that you say that. You're the third investor now that I've talked to that's mentioned that very same fact to me. I had a guy, he owns a unit, I think it's a 1-bedroom unit there at the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that for the month of July, he only had 1 week booked rental, but everybody else booked last minute, and he was booked every night of the month.
Oh, yeah.
But it was all last minute rentals.
I think with, I think the economy, the unknown, people are waiting to the last minute to say, hey,
I'm going to spend this money.
Do I want to spend the money? Do I still have my job?
Yeah. Now, do you think that there's any credence to the whole last minute, catching the last minute person and getting them to pay a premium for it because it's last minute? That whole pricing strategy.
So there's a possible. I think the thing, what makes it hard is a lot of people do basically the waterfall effect. As you get close to the date, they're lowering the price. So now, like your competitors have a lower price than the next guy.
Yeah.
So they're lowering it, trying to fill up at the last minute. So people might be getting better deals waiting to the last minute.
So you got to stay competitive.
Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video,
I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now let's work through your appreciation if you buy and sell just right. You buy low and you sell high. Now, in 2015, if you would have bought a 1-bedroom, you'd have only paid $90,000 for it. Wow. Fast forward to 2023, it's 8 years later, that same 1-bedroom, the high sold for $225,000. So the low in 2015 sold for $90,000, but the high, the nicest unit, sold for $225,000. Guys, that's $135,000 in appreciation. Over 8 years, that's $16,875 per year in appreciation. In addition to annual profits, in addition to tax write-offs, come on guys, where can you win that big on that many fronts? Myrtle Beach Oceanfront Condos. Now let's talk about the different gross rental income numbers of units here over the last 2 years. Only found 2 units that had data in the last 2 years for gross rental income sales. One was unit 608 in 2022. It had a projection of $45,000. Again, that was a projection, not actual income made. And then unit 307 in 2022 made $20,112. Now that leaves you with an average gross rental income of $32,556 and a variance of $24,888. There's a lot of variance there. So the point of variance, guys, is to calculate how close together the groupings of gross rental income numbers are across various units to determine the health and the reputation, the brand of the resort. If there's a lot of brand, then there's a lot of demand. If there's a lot of demand, well, the units are going to have more equalized gross rental income numbers. There's going to be a lot of units that are bringing in close to the same. So it's a way to compare a resort health and see how well their rentals are doing. Now, what is the explanation for why some units make $45,000, another makes $20,000, another makes $52,000, another makes $77,000? Could be a lot of things, guys. We can speculate a little bit about it, but ultimately, guys, you get out this what you put into it. The people that are rock stars at this and are stellar, they're putting 150% into it. They're marketing it on their social media. They're joining vacation travel groups and posting their unit. They're marketing it to friends and family, and they probably have a strong sphere of influence. So, those kind of factors definitely play into the rental numbers on your unit. If you have a strong sphere of influence and you are marketing your condo, well, people are going to rent it that know you, that are friends and family. If you don't, well, you don't got that going for you. So the point is that, some of these units are going to rent a lot better. Some people are going to do more marketing on them. Some people are going to provide a better guest experience. Some people are going to remodel their units so well that they make them the nicest unit at that resort, taking the lion's share of the rentals. Some people are going to do all of those things. And that's kind of what separates the pack. You got people that are doing all this work, bringing the best units on the market, marketing their units well. They're going to make more gross rental income than somebody that hands the property off to a property manager and hopes for the best. There's just no two ways around it. You get out of this what you put into it. Totally. But at the same token, if you're just looking purely at the financials, then why would you pay another $100,000, $200,000 to get into an oceanfront condo investment when you can just come to Myrtle Beach and make the same money? Right. Now, I was talking to an investor that told me that, and this is more recent, he was telling me, like, you can't make money in Florida right now. Like, the insurance costs have risen so much that their oceanfront condos are not profitable. Do you know anything about that?
Well, across the board, everyone's insurances went up.
Yeah, but ours, like, Compass Cove went up like $82 a month.
You're right.
Now, I did find there was a place in Barefoot. It wasn't oceanfront. It was called Water's Edge. It went up $470 a month.
Oh, wow.
That hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a huge jump. But I'm not seeing that across the board here. Have you experienced that in your condos?
Not that big of jumps, but the insurance definitely went up. They're still profitable with the increase in insurance. But I think Florida's problem is the demand drove the prices higher than the rental income can make.
Support it, yeah.
Right.
They're hitting their ceiling, basically.
Right. For at least, especially in the Destin area, in the Panhandle area, you have a lot of the oil money, and so people are coming from Texas.
Oil money, you said? Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So people who are making money in Texas, Alabama, in that area, that's where they're investing, and so they're not looking. A lot of those aren't looking to make a profit. They're looking to, hey, where do I stick my money?
What's the secret about concierge services? All right, guys. Well, the point is to have concierge services. I once had a client that was featured in Forbes magazine. She had a unit over at the St Clements Resort. She made $33,000 with this unit. It did have a nice jacuzzi jet tub. She offered these packages to her clients, and it drove the gross rental income of the unit up. Basically bathrobes on the bed, rose petals, towel swans, chocolate, a gift for him, a gift for her, vacation packages. And you could do them themed, of course, for people on their honeymoon and stuff like that. It's an excellent offering. You set up a direct booking website. They go right to your website. You have 3 packages, a $500, $1,000, a $1,500, and they all include more things. And for the convenience of all of it being planned, in other words, you bought tickets, you contacted your cleaning lady, you gave her $100, and you had her go go and order all this stuff for you. Order tickets to Pirates Voyage for 2, dinner show. Order a gift, get a gift card to this restaurant here for 2. Get tickets to the country music festival. And all the little things, all the little different things that it'd be super simple and super easy that people want to go do in our market. Well, if you go ahead and take care of all of that, you've got it set up in a nice little envelope. It's sitting on the nightstand for them. It's on the counter as soon as they walk in. They've got a concierge experience, and they're going to have an excellent time on their vacation. And they're going to come back, and that's going to build repeat business year over year. And they didn't have to think about it. They didn't have to plan it. You send them an automated email. You signed up for package X. It includes this, 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 and this. We've already got your tickets. We got this. It's going to be on the nightstand for you, blah, 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 blah. Guys, it's simple and easy. And if you do 10 of those at $1,500, we're talking about an extra $15,000 at the end of the year in gross rental income. And all you did was set up a direct booking website, put a web page up, a landing page with 3 different packages, let them choose one, let them process their credit card right there online. You just offered it to them in addition to their rental when they signed up on Airbnb. You told your cleaning lady, hey, here's $100, go and get all these things for me and leave them in the room for this guest. It's that simple and that easy, guys.
Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video,
I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, do I buy this property as a second home or do I buy it as an investment property? Well, guys, if you're going to use it, you might want to buy it as a second home. I'd say if you're going to use it 6 months out of the year, buy it as a second home. It's going to give you a cheaper interest rate, a lower down payment, but you can only rent it out 180 days out of the year. Now, if you're in the game to make money and you're not really going to use it, or you're going to use it just a few weekends or a few weeks out of the year, then you probably want to buy it as an investment property. It's going to be at least 20%, most likely 25% down. It's going to have a higher interest rate. The bank knows you're making money. They want to make money with you. And you can rent it out, 365 days a year. So you have no limits on renting it out. Now, if you buy it as a second home, it's got to be at least 75 miles from your primary residence. Additionally, you do have to occupy it at least 3 weeks out of the year. Now, remodeling your unit. Here's what investors do time and time again, guys. I see it all the time. I help investors do it. They use my contractors. It's so simple, it's so easy, and it applies to more than just oceanfront condos. It applies to real estate in general. People buy underperforming assets, properties, fix them up, and sell them. That's a fix and a flip. It's not rocket science. It's very logical. It's very simple. You buy a property that's ran down, you put some money into it, you sell it for more than you bought it for and more than the remodel cost. It's the same principle that you're doing here, except for you're just renting it out first for a few years while you hold it, and then you turn around and sell it. Now, you always want to buy the underperforming asset with the ugly carpet, the horrible countertops, the one that's ran down and looks disgusting. You want to buy that one. You want to put some money into it. I won't say always. If you're using financing and you can find one that's remodeled, it's most likely a smarter move. But for the most part, the strategy is simple. You buy an underperforming asset, you remodel it, and then you rent it out. You design it with all the top-notch design touches of the top 5% Airbnb properties, that are on the market. You make sure that you're better than all the competition. An accent wall with a fireplace and a mantle. You got popping, contrasting colors that catch people's eyes and attention on Airbnb. It has a very modern and a very trendy look. Listen, there's a game that you've got to play when you're attracting guests and rentals. You can't make the property look like whatever your tastes are and expect it to perform like a top 5%. You're catering to the masses. You're catering to a specific demographic, a specific audience. And there are key elements, like you want to have desk in the room for the kids. You want to have a little game station. You want to have a telescope by the balcony to drink wine and watch the stars. You want to advertise all that stuff in your listing. You want to have a coffee station for the mornings when they wake up. There's certain elements to this that really work, guys. And if you do it, you make great money. Yvonne, a client of mine, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. I can't stop talking about her. She bought an oceanfront condo for almost $600,000, a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom over at Ocean Reef. She remodeled it. She had it off the market for at least 2.5 months. When she bought the condo, it was making $104,400 in her first 12 months. Remember, she had it off the market for 2.5 months. So that means in less than 12 months, technically, 8.5 months, 9.5 months, whatever. Guess what? She made $140,000 in gross rental income and cleared $30,000 profit. She increased her gross rental income by $36,000 just her first year. She recouped the entire remodel plus some. Was it worth it to remodel the property? Absolutely. Is she already halfway there for a cash out refi? You better believe it. She's already improved the property. Now she's just got to wait a few years and let it appreciate and pull the money out of it, and she can go buy another one. Now, anyways, the point is the remodels work, guys. The top-notch products perform. It gets you winter rentals during the winter months. It makes you stand out and take market share, and you can charge a whole lot more money for a much larger and nicer condo that is in high demand. It's that simple and that easy. 1031 like-kind exchange, a very, very hot topic and one that many investors are interested in. Yes, you can do them with oceanfront condos. A 1031 exchange, named after Section 1031 of the IRS code, allows real estate investors to defer paying capital gains taxes when they sell an investment property, as long as they reinvest the proceeds into a like-kind property of equal or greater value within a specific time frame. The key rules include identifying the replacement property within 45 days and closing on it within 180 days of the sale. Now, this strategy helps investors grow their portfolios more efficiently by deferring taxes and leveraging their equity. But it requires careful planning and the use of a qualified intermediary to handle the transaction. Guys, I have a qualified intermediary for you that I would like to introduce to you to help facilitate your 1031 like-kind exchange. It's that simple and that easy. If you're interested in purchasing properties and you're concerned about capital gains tax, this is a viable strategy that many investors use to build wealth. Get in contact with me. It's 843-360-1737, and I can help you with that 1031 like-kind exchange. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. Now let's talk through low HOAs versus high HOAs. Let's talk through special assessments and kind of the correlation and how this all plays out. Now people, first-time investors generally want a low HOA resort because they feel like it's less risk. I'm going to completely debunk that for you in just a minute. So I had a client ask me, well, how do I avoid getting hit with a bunch of special assessments? And she was basically working through the understanding that when you have an HOA that has a super low fee, most likely they're not setting aside money in reserves. In fact, most likely they're probably not running the business portion of the HOA well. They're not building up a cushion in case things happen and they need to fix it. Now, generally the higher HOAs are at resorts that have healthy businesses, and they're collecting, instead of setting aside every month when you pay your HOA dues, they are collecting reserves. Now those reserves will go to take care of, most likely, items that need to be fixed and are repaired on site. Now, would you rather pay $50 or $100 a month towards the reserves in your HOA payment, maybe even $150 a month? Or would you rather get hit with a $15,000 special assessment? In my opinion, it's smarter to pay it incrementally. It's not such a big blow. It's already accounted for, and they're setting money aside in the reserves so that they don't have to issue you a special assessment. With a lower HOA fee, they're going to issue you special assessments anytime something breaks or needs to be fixed. Is it better to have a low HOA fee and get hit with multiple assessments throughout the year or a few years in a row that eat through your profits, or just to go ahead and invest in a place that has a higher HOA fee that is putting aside money in reserves to take care of those things so that you don't have to have special assessments over and over and over again each and every year. So, in my opinion, it is more risk. Excuse me. In my opinion, it is more risk to purchase a lower tier oceanfront condo at a lower tier resort with lower HOA fees. It is because there's a lot more competition in the lower end of the market. Those smaller units, there's a huge supply of them. They don't appreciate as well, so there's nothing to really carry you through on the back. If you have a lean year or you get a bunch of special assessments or something hits you, there's nothing really to carry you through if you don't make a lot of profits on the smaller oceanfront condos, as opposed to the larger oceanfront condos that appreciate much better, and they can carry you through some of those lean years. Over the lifetime of the investment, you are still okay if you have a few years where you only make $5,000 profit, $10,000 profit, whatever, on those larger oceanfront condos, $15,000 profit on those leaner years, because they appreciate so well on the back end. It carries you through. You don't have that cushion with a smaller oceanfront condo. I ran numbers, I think it was over at the Dunes Village, on a guy, he was selling his condo. If he would have sold it as asking price, we're looking at $54,000 in appreciation while he owned that condo a year. That's substantial appreciation. As where the smaller oceanfront condos don't appreciate nearly as well, you'd be lucky to get $100,000, or you'd be doing well at $100,000 appreciation for owning it, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, versus owning a larger oceanfront condo for 10 years and you're getting $300,000 in appreciation. So there's a lot more cushion in the appreciation aspect of it that's going to carry you overall. If you look at everything, the annual profits, and appreciation combined, if you look at both, there's a lot more cushion in those larger oceanfront condos. So, thinking through risk, people at low tier resorts that are afraid of high HOA fees, and they think they justify it in their mind going, I'm taking less risk by buying something that's cheaper because it's less money out of pocket that I have to spend. Technically, they're positioning themselves to have the highest amount of competition, to have the lowest amount of hedge and appreciation, and to get hit with lots of special assessments. Because their HOA is not setting money aside in the reserve account. Now you tell me what sense that makes, buying a low-tier oceanfront condo with a low HOA fee, all because you're afraid to take on more risk. You're technically taking on more risk. All right, so if you have a 401k and you have retirement funds, but not enough to live off of, which many Americans are in that boat, because a 401k was never designed for you to retire off of. It was an account for executives to be able to stash away some extra cash, and it got turned into a quote-unquote retirement account. But there's generally, unless you have a ridiculous amount of money in that 401k, it's not going to be enough money for you to retire on. This is where Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos, real estate investing, comes into play. Because you've got money in your account that you can be putting in hard assets that generate great annual profits, that appreciate, and that give you tax write-offs. And that's going to happen a lot faster than what you can do in the stock market. Now, or even with bonds, or even with long-term rentals. Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos are one of the best investments in the market. Now, 401k non-recourse loans. A non-recourse loan against a 401k is used when purchasing real estate within the 401k itself, typically through a self-directed solo 401k plan. In this setup, the 401k account, not the individual, purchases the property, not the individual, not the person, but the 401k purchases the property. And a non-recourse loan is used because IRS rules prohibit personal guarantees on 401k owned investments. Now, a non-recourse loan means the lender can only seize the property if there's a default. They cannot go after the investor's personal assets or the rest of the 401k funds. Now, this allows investors to leverage their retirement funds to buy real estate while keeping the investment compliant with IRS rules. However, only the 401k benefits from the investment returns. The annual profits you're making, you can't touch. It's got to go back into the 401k. It can't go into your personal account. And strict rules around prohibited transactions must be followed to avoid penalties. Guys, I just helped a client purchase an oceanfront condo at Dunes Village, a place that is infamous for gross rental income in our market, with a 401k non-recourse loan. It's a very smart move, guys, and you should get started now building that nest egg up. Absolutely. If you do not have enough money to retire on because you're planning on living longer, because your lifestyle demands it, then you need to get in contact with me so that I can get you in contact, and you have a 401k, of course, so that I can get you in contact with a qualified person that can do a 401k non-recourse loan for you. My cell phone's 843-360-1737. Give me a call and let me help you out. Those retirement years could be a whole lot better, and you could be living in a lot more comfort if you had that extra $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in profit coming in passively from an asset like an oceanfront condo. Now guys, lots of people are concerned about HOAs. HOAs protect the appreciation aspect of your investment. You know, ultimately the HOA consists of people that own at that particular resort, and they don't want to pay any of those high HOA fees or any more fees than they have to pay. However, they have enough sense to know that if they don't maintain the property and take care of it well, that the property is going to lose value, and the tourists are not going to continue to rent that property any longer. If that happens, the money that you're counting on in appreciation at the end of the investment when you go to sell it is gone. And that's what you don't want. The appreciation is an excellent builder of wealth. Additionally, it serves as a hedge in case you don't do as well renting your property out. Now, of course, I don't want that for you. I don't expect that for you. If you follow the channel, then you're learning all the things to do. If we've had a few conversations, I'm telling you what to do. So HOAs protect the investment. They protect that appreciation aspect of your property. And when you go to resell it, you're going to be really happy that you had an HOA. Now, investors often are concerned about higher HOA fees. Well, most of the time, the best resorts have the highest HOA fees. They have higher HOA fees. You do not let the HOA fee determine where you invest your money. You let the upside, you let the gross rental income, you follow the money, you follow the cash. It's horrible to allow fear of not having enough and you're not going to be able to make the payment, you're afraid the HOA is too high, to be the determinant as to where you invest. You know, not everybody is successful at investing. A lot of people think that way. Fear is what's driving their decision. Fear is not a smart investment strategy. I wouldn't let it be in the driver's seat if I was you. And you can't. You got to look at the units that are top performing, and you've got to go to those resorts. You got to check out the inventory and the products that are currently on the market, and you've got to invest where you've got upside and potential, where you can make money, because the whole point of this is to make money. You don't invest in a place with a low HOA fee at a low tier resort that doesn't have a really strong brand name. A lot of people don't know about it, and hardly anyone wants to rent there. In my opinion, it's just not a smart strategy. Why would you cap yourself at a place, let's say that, you know, has units, they're making $30,000 a year gross income, when you could be at a place that's making $90,000 or $100,000 a year, and you're putting $30,000 a year in profit in your pocket, all because you weren't intimidated by an HOA fee. And by the way, the tourists that rent the condo pay the fees. And if you're doing it well, and you've watched the interview with Matt Freeze, at least one of them, he plainly said that he owns, you know, at the time I interviewed him, he owned 11 oceanfront condos. Guys, he plainly says June, July, and August, he makes enough money on his condos to pay all the bills for the whole year. So what are you worried about? What are you afraid about? Don't let that HOA fee intimidate you and stop you. Invest where you can make money and build wealth. It requires risk to build wealth. That's how it works. Let's talk about doing a cash out refi. Guys, the real estate strategy using a cash out refinance involves pulling equity from your first investment property after it has appreciated in value or you've paid down the mortgage, and using those funds as a down payment for your next property. Now here's how it works. You buy your first property, you improve it or hold it over time, and once it gains enough equity, you refinance it for more than you currently owe. You take the difference in cash, tax deferred, and use it to buy your second property. You repeat the process, improve, refinance, reinvest, and you create a snowball effect of portfolio growth without needing to come up with new capital for each deal. Now, this method lets investors scale rapidly, but it requires good credit. Strategic property selection, that's where I come in, and you gotta get the property selection right, because if not, you're shooting yourself in the foot, you're stifling that snowball effect. If you don't get this one right and it doesn't have solid financials, you might not get approval for the next condo or the cash out refi. Or anyways, the point is you want to make sure you get the right property. Now, strong cash flow is going to be important, and discipline to avoid over leveraging. You do not want to over leverage. So guys, it's very simple and very easy. Lots of people buy oceanfront condos using a cash out refi, either on their primary residence. They'll pull, a few $100,000 out of their home. Of course, their mortgage goes up a little bit, $1,100, $1,200, depending upon how much money they pull out. And they purchase an oceanfront condo, or they do a cash out refi on the oceanfront condo that they bought their first one. It's that simple and that easy. It does create a snowball effect. Once you buy a property and improve it, and it appreciates, and you've paid down that mortgage, of course you're going to pull that cash out and buy another oceanfront condo. Well, you wait 3 or 4 more years, now you've got 2 oceanfront condos that you can employ this same strategy with. You do it to both of them, now you bought 2 more and you have 4 oceanfront condos. Well, yes, you can do it again. 4 more years goes by, you improve properties, you pay out all those profits you're making on the oceanfront condo rentals into the mortgage, and guess what you do? You buy 4 now. Now you got 8 oceanfront condos. So it creates a snowball effect, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, that nest egg, allowing you to really build some substantial wealth over time. It's a very viable strategy. If you're interested in learning more about it, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737.
And now, it is the moment you have been waiting for, and one of the most exciting parts of the video. Let's break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. And then I'll give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability.
All right, let's work through a cash scenario purchase right here at the St. Clements for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom oceanfront unit. Guys, that purchase price was $189,000. Now, your gross rental income projection was $50,000. I've seen 1-bedrooms, a good 1-bedroom, a decent 1-bedroom makes $40,000. A good one makes about $52,000. An exceptional one makes about $72,000. Yes, I have seen 1-bedrooms at different places make those different numbers, for sure. I've got you here at a $50,000 gross rental income projection. Now, your Airbnb platform fee is going to be 3% of the gross rental income that you make for the unit. That's going to be a total of $1,500 to use Airbnb. You take that from the $50,000 you made in gross rental income, and you're left with a subtotal of $48,500. Now, your property taxes in 2024 were $1,792.39. That is for the year, not for the month. Your excise tax is $433. This is for use in police department and the fire department. It's calculated with a $145 base fee for your first $2,000 in gross rental income, and then it is $6 for every $1,000 you make in gross rental income after that. Now, your local hospitality and accommodations tax was $1,500. It's technically 1.5% to the city of Myrtle Beach and 1.5% to Horry County. You do have to have a business license when owning and operating a short-term vacation rental property. When you purchase an oceanfront condo, the city will mail you that paperwork. Your HO6 insurance, again, it's $1,000. It covers you stud to stud interior for anything damaged or destroyed. Now, there is no electricity covered in the HOA fee that you pay monthly, so you have to pay it separately. I've got you at $150 a month for 12 months. That's $1,800 for the year. And then your annualized HOA dues are $7,800. That's for the year, bringing you to an operating expense subtotal of $14,325.39. Now, if you take that $14,325.39 from the $48,500 up top, you are left with a projected profitability of $34,174.61. Guys, that is a cash-on-cash return of 18%. It's beautiful. Now, based on 30 cleanings at $120 a cleaning, I've got you at $3,600 for the year in cleaning costs. Technically, your cleanings will be a place where you can earn a profit. Yes, you'll spend money cleaning that unit, but you'll also make money cleaning it if, for example, your cleaning person charges you $120, you pass that cleaning cost through to the guests so you don't actually experience it, and then you upcharge them. Maybe you charge $150 a cleaning, and you're now going to pocket another $30 per cleaning every time that unit's turned over. Now, I did not include personal property taxes. When you have an investment property, you do have to pay personal property taxes on your furnishings. It's most likely going to be between $500 and $600 for the year. Your HOA fee per month came out to about $650 per month. Guys, you tell me where you can put $189,000 and within 1 year walk away with over 30 grand. I know where. Myrtle Beach Oceanfront Condos. All right, so let's work through a financing scenario purchase right here at the St. Clements. Guys, your purchase price was $189. Your down payment is 25% of the purchase price. That's $47,250. Your gross rental income projection was 50 grand. That Airbnb platform fee was $1,500. If you take the $1,500 from the 50, you are left with a subtotal of $48,500 in gross rental income. Now, your principal and interest on this unit was $11,316. That is going to be based on a 30-year fixed rate loan with a 7% interest rate. Your property taxes in 2024 were $1,792.39. Excise tax was $433. Local hospitality and accommodations tax $1,500. HO6 insurance $1,000. Electricity $1,800. And annualized HOA dues $7,800 for the year. That's going to bring you to an operating expense subtotal of $25,641.39. Now, if you take that $25,000 from the $48,500 up top, guys, you are left with a projected profitability of $22,858.61. Yes, that is a cash-on-cash return of as much as 48%. Where can you put your money and get a cash-on-cash return within 1 year of 48%? I know exactly where. Myrtle Beach Oceanfront Condos. Probably won't be able to do that in the stock market unless you're a wizard. Can't do it in long-term rentals. You could do it in commercial property, but you're going to pay a whole lot more for it. Myrtle Beach Oceanfront Condos, guys, are in a league of their own. You can't even do it with short-term rentals a block off the beach. Our condos can be rented 12 months out of the year. They have a sustainable competitive advantage compared to other real estate property types because they're so cheap and they generate so much income. And if you're considering investing in Florida, think again. Honestly, guys, our condos for $100,000, $150,000 less, they're going to make the same profit for you. I'm just saying, Myrtle Beach Oceanfront Condos is where it's at. All right, let's work through your depreciation right here at the St. Clements. Guys, that purchase price was $189. Now, the IRS allows you to depreciate the property over 27.5 years. In other words, it has a useful life of 27.5 years. You take that purchase price, you divide it by 27.5, and that gives you a taxable income deduction of $6,872.73. Now, you're allowed to depreciate this property for depreciation and economic obsolescence. Depreciation is wear and tear on the unit. Obviously, it's going to get torn up. Other people are using it. And then economic obsolescence is where other newer condo resorts hit the market. And very simply put, the older stuff loses value. Very simple, very easy. So you're going to be able to make $6,000 that you're not going to have to pay taxes on based on the taxable income deduction for depreciation. Now, I want to throw out there that you need to consider what's called a cost segregation study. Essentially, guys, this is where you accelerate depreciation. You write off a whole lot in a given year. Maybe your first or second year, you write off $40,000 or $50,000. I had a client named Yvonne that did a cost segregation study on her first oceanfront condo and received a tax refund of $34,000. Yes, it does work to accelerate depreciation, especially if you're a high income earner or If you have a great year, maybe you're a small business owner and you need some tax write-offs, it could be an excellent opportunity for you. If you need a CPA that specializes in cost segregation studies, I can refer you to mine. My phone number is 843-360-1737. Now you're probably wanting to know, what are the top 5 oceanfront condo resorts in Myrtle Beach, or in the market period? Well, in the market period, I found one at Sea Marsh last year. The place only has one pool. It's not like a super nice place, but the guy had the right design elements on the unit. He made $90,000 in gross rental income on his unit. In my estimation, he cleared $24,000 profit. He's just got a well-designed unit, and the place is standard. It doesn't have major amenities, doesn't have crazy draws. It's got an $847 a month HOA, a low HOA, but guess what? He crushed it because of the design element on the unit. It's that simple and that easy, guys. Nothing special, nothing hidden. Sea Marsh, it's up there. Ocean Reef, Avon, she's up there. 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Caribbean, 1-bedroom, made $72,000 in gross rental income. Let me see here. Dunes Village, by far, absolutely. The majority of their units consistently outperform the rest of the market. Their ocean view units perform better than probably most oceanfront units elsewhere, because they have an indoor water park and you can rent the unit out 12 months out of the year due to that indoor water park. It is a sustainable competitive advantage. Dunes Village continues to be one of the top performers in the market. I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom that made $103,000 over there. Definitely killing it. I found a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. It's under contract now. Made $124,000. I mean, like, Dunes Village, definitely. Finally, I'd say Oceans 1 or Resort. I found a unit over there, a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom that made $109,000. Yes, Oceans 1 over in the south end of the beach. I know a lot of investors are skeptical about it, but guys, people are making money there to the tune of $109,000. We're talking, $29,000 profit. So that's my top 5. If you want to know more, get in contact with me, have a conversation with me, call me, guys. I really enjoy hearing from you guys. It's 843-360-1737. Send me a text message, shoot me an email, jump on a live Zoom call with me, ask me your questions, and let's get you somewhere into this investing game that you really want to be in, building wealth and securing a great future for you and your family. So let's work through your market report, guys. I ran your market report. Nothing has sold at St. Clements in the last 2 years. Wow. Either it's a really great value and people buy them and hold them, or they're not doing so hot. Now, there's not a lot of rental activity here, so it might not be a great place to rent at, or to buy and to invest in. Or there's no competition and it's a hidden gem, and you can come in and take the lion's share of the rentals because there's not really competition here. There's a market for every single oceanfront condo resort. There's an end user that wants to rent these just like all the rest. It's just a matter of figuring out who that market is and catering, creating value for what they want and what they need. It's that simple and that easy. For example, if I had a condo that was next to the pier and I knew that fishermen were renting my condo a lot, I would put all kinds of fisherman stuff and fisherman decor and all kinds of tackle stuff and just everything to complement that. I'd probably buy a gift certificate to Pier 14, which is a restaurant on the pier, so they can go to the pier and eat while they're there, or buy fishing passes for them and leave them on the nightstand. There are ways to create value for every end user, for every oceanfront condo. It's just a matter of figuring out who the end user is, find out what the value is to them, and putting it in your unit, putting it in your listing, and making it the most attractive on the market so that you can take market share. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message. and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories.